Good morning. Hope you're all good. So should you be aching? Should you be aching after you exercise? And if you're not aching, does that mean you haven't worked hard enough? And if you are aching, should you then rest? That was a discussion I had with one of the ladies the other day, and it's a really interesting one because, everyone's told different things. Like when you're aching, some people think it feels good, and it feels good like I've worked. People get a lot of sense of achievement from that. And firstly, what I want to say is that's not always a case of whether you've worked hard enough or not. There's many variables here. It could be that you're aching because you didn't sleep so well and you did the same workout before, but your recovery hasn't been on track as much. It could be linked to your nutrition as well. And that then brings me into, should you rest when you are aching? Well, you can't really overtrain. You can only under-recover, really. Especially in today's world where so many things come up and get in the way of our exercise, that planning in sometimes too many rest days can actually potentially be a bit of a hindrance to us if we know that things are going to get in the way on days where we have structured training in. However, if we then absolutely nail down these times where we're going to exercise and say these are non-negotiable, no one gets in the way of these exercise sessions, then that's a different thing altogether. If you know 100% are committed to it. And for me, for example, you like me, things get in the way sometimes, but if I get it done in the morning, less people want me at that time, even babies and kids. They're still asleep. Touch wood, have I jinxed it? We will find out, probably hear it in the next 1 minute as I chat in here. So if I summarize this for you, and I hope this helps, because a lot of people get into a bit of a muddle with this. Your body will never really adapt unless you push it out of its comfort zone a little bit. And if you're aching, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to rest. It sometimes can mean that, if you've ever been aching, then you exercise again. Sometimes you actually feel better and you work through it and it's actually okay. And the problem is when we keep resting, we never actually progress in the way that our body is adapting to this new normal. It might be that we just lower the intensity that we work at if you've got a few aches, or we work a different muscle group. So for example, something that we do a lot is if someone comes in, it's like, my arms are really aching from yesterday. Cool, let's focus a bit more on legs today. But we can still touch a bit of arms and see how we get on with that to ensure that we're progressing and keeping that momentum going, because momentum is another thing altogether. Some people find that exercising every day, even if it's for 5 minutes, is more effective for them. 5 times 7 over the week, you got 35 in there. That's a big difference in terms of how much exercise you get in, right? So, and if you can get that exercise in, then that's more important than when, where, how much. Just getting it done is the most important thing. So you've got to look at your recovery as well with this. Be kind to yourself at the same time. If you're like on 2 hours sleep, absolutely overrun, then taking a step back is fine too. Just really know, you'll always deep down know the right decision with this, and there's no real right or wrong. But what I would say this is a good kind of rule of thumb is, has anything changed? Just ask the question, has anything changed? Have I slept a lot less? Have I been more stressed than normal? Just consider them. If it's a new kind of thing that you've touched in, so like, the first week of adding something into your exercise routine, it's very common because you're working muscles perhaps in a different way, that you might feel a bit achy more than normal. Then what you can do is just make sure how's your sleep going? How's your protein intake? Are you eating enough? Are you getting lots of water in? Are you keeping moving in between? Can you stand up if you're sat down a lot at a desk? All these things that can help boost recovery. So I hope that helps. Wanted to cover that this morning. Have a lovely Sunday. And if you're ever going to get a rest in, it's today. So I'll see you soon. Take care.